Every year, communities across the country host a night out for neighbors, and local officers get to know each other. Police get to know sheriff's deputies, all kinds of things. The National Night Out Against Crime campaign was created to raise awareness about crime prevention, getting neighbors together with law enforcement to help bridge the gap between police and the people they serve. The New Orleans Police Department, along with several other city organizations and businesses, will host the National Night Out Against Crime tomorrow. It'll be held at the Milne Recreation Center on Franklin Avenue. It all starts at 5 o'clock that afternoon. There'll be free food, resources, and more. This year, the NOPD is hosting the event with the new interim police chief. She is hoping she'll be the permanent police chief, Anne Kirkpatrick. The council will vote on that this week. It's a big deal. Residents can come out and meet Superintendent Kirkpatrick, interim superintendent. Let's first of all talk about the Night Out Against Crime. It is an important thing that's been going on for years.
Yes, I think this year is the 39th year anniversary for New Orleans. And so it's been a community-based way of crime prevention. You said it, to bridge the gap between community and police. And so it's been a very successful initiative through the years.
And other communities celebrate this around the country in August, but it's just too hot here, so we move it to October.
Sure. And you know, the nice thing about it is it helps neighbors meet their own neighbors. And we've become a disconnected society. We don't know our neighbors like we used to. So this is a wonderful opportunity to just get to know your neighbors.
And this is a way for you to get to know people in the community, because you've said this in some of the council hearings, things like that, because there have been calls that you don't know New Orleans like a lot of people who are within the police department now, and maybe that's been your biggest critique of what you do, because you do have the experience as far as leading a department.
Right. So I have been an outsider all of my career. This is my fifth agency as a chief of police. So by nature, I'm going to be an outsider. There are pluses to having an outsider, and there are negatives to having an outsider. And one of those is that you don't know the community the way an insider would. But I have hopefully been successful through my history of connecting to communities, and I have every intention of doing so and have started to do so.
Well, and a lot of people are saying the last time we brought someone outside the department in was when Chief Richard Pennington came here. He did turn a lot of things around. Is that the same kind of thing you're hoping to do if and when you get confirmed?
Well, there are so many things to keep, too. We want to remember and we want to honor all the traditions and the legacies of the New Orleans Police Department, and I will be keeping any and all traditions and the cultures of our city. We want to maintain that. So I'm not out to change that type of culture. There are always things within an organization that will need change, and I think as an outsider, that's what they've asked me to do.
Well, and that seems like it's kind of a no-brainer when you come into a community like this. But you're entering a city that has a lot of problems right now. The police department has a lot of problems. It's way under where we should be.
Absolutely. There were three major issues when I came in. Obviously the crime, the consent decree, and then of course the fact that it is a 900 officer department where historically has been between 1,700 and 1,200, and therefore you cannot police the same when you are at a 900-man department and not a 1,200 officer department.
Well, let's say you do get this confirmation and become the permanent superintendent. What are the first things you want to do once you take that office?
Well, I obviously want to continue to connect with the community, embrace the community, and learn about New Orleans. So as a superintendent, that is critical, as well as get to know every single member of this department. I do plan to go into what we call a modified field training officer program. I will be out in the different districts riding with the officers on the different shifts, learning about the different divisions within department. So both hands, continuing to build relationship with the community, but build relationship internally. Leaders, real leadership is that people follow people, and therefore that's relational. They obey rank. And those are two different things.
And right now, a lot of violent crime is down. Car theft is still way up. It's not just here, it's all across the country. I mean, what can you do to alleviate that? What can you do to bolster this department and bring more people in? Because it's got to be in a short amount of time.
There has been a very good change, new direction on the recruiting. And so we're going to continue down that path. I do want to take the opportunity to tell anyone in the listening arena today, this morning, please look at us. Look at an opportunity to serve other people through law enforcement. It's a great department, so we are hiring. So we want to get the word out about that. But with respect to, for instance, car break-ins, that is where you, as a citizen, can probably do more than anyone else. Be sure you do not leave things in your car. People will break into a car to get things from a car. So that is a citizen approach of crime prevention.
And one of the other major complaints, and I've heard it from so many people, they'll call the 911, they wait for an officer to come, even sometimes when it's a bad crime, for hours.
Yes, and that's a direct reflection of staffing. When you have low staffing and you have the same number of calls for service coming into 911, then the dispatchers have to triage. They're always going to dispatch the very fewest officers. Because we're so low in staff, they're going to go to people crimes before they go to property crime. And so it is a function of triage. And so the property crimes are put into queue while the officers are responding to people crimes. That's why they're waiting.
And when you went before the committee to push you to the next level, to be voted on by the council, what was your feeling there? I mean, do you feel like you have the support of council members?
I don't think I have. I do think I have the support of the council in terms of they're just trying to be transparent. They're trying to ask the questions. This is not a completed process yet, and that will not be a completed process until Thursday. So it's an issue of, it's not an issue of do I have their support or not, it's the issue of my going before them and answering their questions as a part of their vetting and the transparency.
And some of the council members said they were kind of shocked when they heard it was going to be you, you were the mayor's choice. What do you think it was that Mayor Cantrell saw in you over Michelle Woodfork?
I think it's the issue of experience and where New Orleans is at this particular time. It's really no different than coaching. You hire certain coaches for certain seasons. And I think that is, I don't think that's what I have been told was why Mayor Cantrell chose me, which I'm grateful to her for that opportunity. So it's a matter of where you are today, where do you want to be in 2.5 to 3 years, and who's the best fit for that season.
All right, we're out of time, but your Night Out Against Crime is?
Tonight, and it will be tomorrow night, the kickoff is this evening, 100 neighborhoods.
And you want as many people to come out and meet you as possible.
As much as possible. This is my opportunity. You want to come meet me, ask questions. I'd love to meet you.
All right, Anne Kirkpatrick, thank you very much. We appreciate that and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.